I'm Kristen Schimler, and I went vegan 4 months ago. This lifestyle choice can be quite daunting, but you just have to know what vitamins and minerals to incorporate into your diet to make it more healthy. I found that I wasn't doing such a good job on it. I looked at my chronometer report and I found that I was behind in iron, calcium, and vitamin D. And so I went straight to the source. I talked to my friend Liv Mott, a global studies major who turned vegan 6 months ago. A lot of people love to ask like where vegans get their protein. It's not necessarily an issue of how much protein you get, but rather the amount of calories you're eating. You can get so much protein from nuts and seeds and legumes and beans and tofu. I do take a B12 supplement. That's the only supplement I take. Humans can't get B12 from the soil anymore. Usually it would grow on root vegetables, but since our soil is so depleted, it doesn't anymore. Um, you can get a lot of iron through dark leafy vegetables, so spinach, collard greens, broccoli has iron. I know that that dark green color is kind of a signal that there's most likely iron, so. Yeah, that's one thing that veganism taught me. Do not fear carbs. So, your body runs on glucose. That's what your cells run on. That's their primary source of fuel for all the functioning of every single cell in your body. And glucose is a carb. As you're taking in those carbs, you're just directly feeding those cells with glucose. So your body is getting the most direct form of nutrients. Your body actually runs most efficiently on carbs. Thinking of like a food pyramid, definitely on the bottom, what you're going to want to eat the most of is vegetables and fruit. Then next, you're going to want to have your grains and your whole wheats and things like that. And then on top of that is going to be your like heavy proteins, your legumes and your beans, tofu, tempeh, and then on top is going to be your more like fatty oil. Obviously, you want to keep that kind of small. And so, armed with this knowledge, me and my roommate went to my favorite grocery store to see what we could find. We got back from the store, I decided to make a couple meals and incorporate what I learned. So for breakfast, I had this banana smoothie and I poured in some milk rather than water to get in those vitamins and minerals. And then for lunch, I had a potato and lettuce wrap. And so for the potatoes, I was obviously getting in carbs and vitamin C. And then for the lettuce, I was getting in iron and calcium. And then for dinner, I made this rice bowl with veggies and beans and mushrooms. And so for the mushrooms, I was getting in the vitamin C and vitamin D, folate, and iron. And then for the red peppers, I was getting in vitamin A and vitamin C. And then I had my beans, which was the protein, and then also the rice added in those carbs. So just like Liv said, I was getting in all my necessary food groups, like fruit and veggies, whole grains, legumes, and then a little bit of fats.
So this is my chronometer report for the second day, and you can see that the levels are mostly green rather than red like before. So I was getting in a lot more vitamins and nutrients, and I also ate 50 more calories more.
So it's not that hard being vegan. You just have to know what foods to pick up at the grocery store to get in all your vitamins and nutrients. And now I know what I need to pick up to incorporate into my diet